Welcome back, everyone. I love having my next guest on. He has someone with him. I have with me Mike Salazar, and he's the owner of Pass Fire Protection. First, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce who you have with you.
Oh, thanks, Carol. This is Jax. He's a new hire that we have, and he specializes in a lot of sales and training as well, so he knows a lot about the industry and about what we do, so I thought it'd be great to bring him on here.
And he says he knows a lot about fire. So the first thing I get to test him today.
Yes, here we go.
So here we go.
All right.
And we're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody. Also, I do want to say that as well. First of all, will you tell everybody, Jax, and it's Jaxx, will you please tell everybody what Pass represents? What does it mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a family-owned and operated full-service fire protection company out of Phoenix, Arizona. Very, very successful, multi-million-dollar company that has maintained its family value system. And what I mean by that is that we're not big and corporatized like companies like Metro and Cintas, right? What you get when you come to a company like Pass is you get somebody like me, right? A dedicated account manager. Anything and everything that I sell, I have either serviced, installed, or repaired myself, right? There's no 1-800 number that you got to call. You don't got to talk to a robot. Try to get through to the service department that tries to get through to their account manager. You call me directly on my line. I'm available 24/7. I can't always promise that I'll answer at 3 o'clock in the morning, but if I don't, I'll respond as soon as I can.
So, Mike, what does Pass represent? What's the acronym for Pass?
The acronym is Pull, Aim, Squeeze, and Sweep. We named our company after that because that's how you use a fire extinguisher. We thought it would be very clever for people to figure out what it is. You know, nobody understands how to use an extinguisher, so if we introduce ourselves and we tell them what the acronym is, hopefully it sticks.
Now, July 4th is around the corner, and what we like to do when Mike comes on, he loves to enter everybody in to win a fire extinguisher. Now, I know it's not a weed whacker at $19.95 that comes along with all this stuff, but let me just tell you how much you're going to want a fire extinguisher once something goes wrong. Like we said, we have 4th of July is around the corner, and somebody earlier asked, why do they sell those here? You know, and it's why? Because people will buy them. That's the thing. And the thing is that accidents happen. I want to talk a little bit about the fire extinguishers and how they're different. Because, you know, everyone go, well, I can get that on Amazon. Yeah, not like these. So tell them about your fire extinguisher and what the difference is.
Yeah, for sure. Our extinguishers are going to be commercial grade, so they're going to have metal handles. They're not going to have plastic handles. Plastic handles are throwaway extinguishers, so if you use them, you're going to be buying new ones again. Or if you have the ones that we have, we can resurface those. So as they have the metal handles, they have the O-rings, they have the structure of the extinguishers, so that when we go to hydro test them and everything like that, they don't blow apart. So the ones that you get, a lot of times they're just going to be throwaway. They're not going to last for a long time. But ours, we're going to make sure they last for as long as they can by servicing them for you guys.
And he loves to enter everybody in to win a fire extinguisher, their fire extinguishers. And we're going to open up the lines to the audience, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I've always said that he should pair up with real estate agents, because I believe that if you're a real estate agent, a closing gift is a great gift, is a fire extinguisher. Right? Yes. And he's going to help you learn how to use it. That's another thing that we're going to talk about now, is how to properly use one. Because let me tell you something, folks. The minute that you have to use a fire extinguisher, you're going to be too scared to know what to do, most likely. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we've got our lines open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You're going to need it because, number one, 4th of July is around the corner. We know that everybody's going to gets into danger. But also around the barbecue. How many barbecues blow up during the summer?
Oh, quite a few. And when she mentions fireworks, it's not you lighting off the fireworks, it's your neighbors you got to worry about. So when those things land in your yard and your yard catches on fire, you're going to want to make sure you have a way to put it out.
Absolutely. And this one you cannot buy. These are the ones that you're going to get. It's a special one that they can what did you say that you
hydro test. Commercial grade.
It's commercial grade,
Yes.
that's the word, commercial grade. And so you can call in here, and our number here is 602-277-5369. You could check them out. It's passfireprotection.com, and they're terrific. They really love to help people with when things go wrong.
That's right.
Yes.
Right? Now, let's talk a little bit about because it's the summer season. I'm gonna be able to talk in a minute, okay? So it's a summer season and people should have them. Look how hot it is today. Should they have them in their cars?
Yes.
Okay, where else? On their boats? Come on, mister.
Yeah. Boats,
Okay.
kitchens.
Yeah, and their kitchens. Now,
Yeah.
we have also talked about how many times, Mike, have we talked about how so many people might have a fire extinguisher, like in their office or what have you, but they don't know where it is because they don't even see it when they walk by it.
Absolutely, out of sight, out of mind, and since most people don't see a fire on a daily basis, they don't even think about fires. But once something does happen, you want to be prepared so that you know how to prevent that from spreading too far. So you want to know where your extinguishers are, where your exits are, pull stations,
Right.
all that stuff. That way, when it does happen, because we know fires will happen, we just don't know when they will, but when it does, you'll be prepared, you'll be able to handle it. And it's also those ATVs, all those guys driving those crazy vehicles out in the desert and everything, you want a fire extinguisher there too. Maybe not just for you, but for somebody else that might be in danger or something
We've
else. We
always said
see a
that.
lot of car fires, we see a lot of that stuff happening.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a fire extinguisher, but it is commercial grade. And the difference with that, I said, you had mentioned that you can go in there and clean it out and make sure that it's in working order for people. You don't have to buy another one. Also, well, I know that Mike has mentioned, we talk a little bit about the difference, like when you, let's say they have a fire extinguisher at home, but they've had it for a long time. How long do they usually last? Because once in a while, when you go to use it, what happens?
Doesn't work.
Doesn't
or
work.
the dry chemical that comes out of it doesn't put out the fire.
Exactly.
And then you're in even more trouble than you were
See,
before.
he does know about fires.
Panic sets in.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And we've talked about that. And so you, yes, you A+, you got that, you definitely. And that is the problem, is that we have these things and either A, we don't know where they are, or B, they're not gonna work when you need them to.
Yeah.
So you might wanna have one and know where they are, have them in your garage, have them in your cars, have them on your boats, in your backyard. Also, you've mentioned about barbecues.
Yep.
And how, your barbecue could be right up against the wall, and if your barbecue goes up, guess what else is going up?
Yep, your house, exactly,
Yeah.
or your porch. If you have it out on your porch, you have it right up against the wood,
Yep.
then you don't want to have them that close. But yes, just in case you have the extinguisher there, you have a way to protect yourself and your family and your property.
So again, our number here is 602-277-5369, and we're letting everyone call throughout the rest of the show. Believe me, I believe everybody should have one. If you own a home, well, anyway, I know you can even be in your own little apartment or what have you, or condo. You need to make sure, be safe, and that's what it's all about, is being safe. And like he
Yes.
said, with the 4th of July fireworks, it's not you that you have to worry about, it's your
Everybody
neighbor.
else.
Yeah.
And when they come flying over those green belts, right?
Absolutely, when they set those things off, it doesn't land in their yard, it lands in somebody else's yard.
And then that's what when you need it the most. Real quickly, because I know that we've always talked a little bit about putting out a fire and when you use a fire extinguisher, because a lot of people don't realize, they're gonna go right aim at it, but from what I know, from having Mike on for as long as he has, tell him how they have to do it.
Oh, it's the PASS acronym. It's pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep, right?
Mhm.
Doing right at the fire is not going to do a whole lot, right?
Mhm.
So it's the sweeping motion that puts everything out.
Yeah, so that's another thing that you see, you don't know what you're gonna learn on this show, and that's what I love about it. And everybody is getting entered in to win. It's a fire extinguisher, and believe me, what you do, what I think is different than other people, is you literally come in and you'll not only just give them the fire extinguisher, you're gonna show them how to use it as well. Let's talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. We don't want to give you something you don't know how to use it, that's the worst, because then you're gonna hide it, you're gonna put it away, you're never gonna use it, it's gonna go bad on you. So we wanna make sure you know how to use it. We're not gonna use yours that we're giving you, we'll bring an extra one so that we can show you and demonstrate how to do the pull, the aim, the squeeze, and the sweep. Remember, you're pulling the pull pins. So don't squeeze the handle too hard or you're never gonna get that pull pin out. Aiming, you're aiming at the base of the fire, not at the fire, but at the base. We'll aim, squeeze, you're gonna squeeze the handle and you're gonna sweep back and forth. You want to know how to use these things, because if we give you one and you don't know how to use it,
It's
it's not gonna
worthless.
be any good.
Exactly. So, whether it's you or someone that you know, and if you're a real estate agent, I'm sorry, the best closing gift that you can give is a fire extinguisher. I think it would be so cool in a big basket with all sorts of fun things,
Yes.
with that fire extinguisher inside of it, right? Now, again, we want you to know that this is a commercial grade fire extinguisher. It's not one that you could just buy there on Amazon or those
Home
little dinky
Depot
dunk.
or-
Yeah, these
yeah.
are nice ones, and what's nice about it is that you're not gonna have to, buy a new one,
Mhm.
which is more cost effective as well.
Mhm.
They want you to know how to use it, they want you to know that you know where it is as well. So we're gonna keep our lines open here, we're gonna go to a break, we're gonna come back, we're gonna talk a little bit further. And believe me, folks, this is the summertime, it's hotter than heck out there. Fires can start anywhere, and we're gonna talk about that when we get back. Again, our number here is 602-2775-369. Toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in here, get yourself one, you're gonna be so happy you did. We're still live in the room, so we're gonna
Yeah.
keep on talking. I didn't know how much he told you what we were gonna talk about.
He told me
Amazing.
nothing.
I had that kind of, so
He
when
doesn't know where you're going, so
I know,
it's harder for him to
totally
answer. He's like,
I know,
Yeah.
so that's why I kinda did that, when we did it good,
Yeah,
okay?
it was fantastic.
When you are working with people, what is the number one thing that happens that people don't realize when they're gonna use that fire extinguisher? Is it that pin doesn't come out, is it too heavy, tell me what it is.
usually it is the weight. The weight shocks people because it doesn't look like it weighs as much. And when we say an extinguisher is a 5-pound extinguisher or a 10-pound or a 20-pound extinguisher, that's how much the powder
Yeah.
weighs. That's not how much
Exactly.
the
Gotta
whole
talk about
thing
that.
weighs.
Yeah.
So when somebody goes and picks it up, they're a little shocked, and then they're like, "Oh my God!"
What
that
poundage do
can't-
you give out, I don't even know.
The 5 pound.
5 pound,
Yeah.
okay.
That's more than enough that you need. I
Right.
mean, obviously, there's a bunch of, but 20 pounders are harder. Those
Right.
are more
Yeah,
industrial.
that's-
Those are really heavy.
Well, yeah, you
people freak
can't
out.
hold that, I mean, yeah, this is one for in your home,
Yeah.
in your car, right.
Well, and something you can touch on too is that it's not like Amazon and Home Depot, these come with a wall mount, right? So it's not something
Oh,
that
you
just-
never even said that
Yeah,
before.
I was trying to get a moment in, but
Oh, I'm
didn't wanna interrupt, you're
No, you
okay.
can't.
Yeah, they come with a wall
It's
mount,
my
so
show.
It's not out of sight, out of mind, it's in your direct field of vision all the time, and it
Oh.
keeps it in your mind that
So where
that's
do you
there
put in the
for,
kitchen?
on the wall.
Okay,
About
All
4
right,
feet
then.
off the ground,
Okay.
should suffice.
yeah? I never knew,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
you learn something every
You got me
day.
water if you
Yeah,
want?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
No, they're handy for sure. Like I said, just people they're afraid of them, or they just don't know they exist.
Yeah.
Everybody tells you to change batteries or smoke detector, and people don't do that. Practice getting out of your house so that you know how to go, but nobody
Right.
practices that. We
Well,
just
most
don't believe
people
it's gonna
don't
happen.
realize that they don't work if they've had them for a
Yeah.
long time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think
I
that's
think
the
it's
biggest
just
thing.
a never ending.
Exactly,
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
work when I need it.
Oh, I bought it 20 years ago, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome back, everyone. We've got our lines open here, and I know everyone can't wait to call in because you're getting entered in to win a fire extinguisher, and we're so excited about doing this. We've been doing this, well, we know how long you've been coming on because
Yeah.
my date's right here. I think this is the first one since 2019.
Yep.
That you've been coming here, and we talk about how to protect yourself, whether it's in your car, on your boat, at your office. Everybody, you need to have a fire extinguisher that works
Yes.
and that you know how to use. That's the other big thing as well. So we've got our lines open here, and this is not just your everyday kind of like a fire extinguisher. This is a commercial fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in here, you're gonna be so happy that you did. We were talking at the break, like I do all the time, and I was asking them how you know, what is like the number one thing that when people say, I always have trouble with whatever, and what you said was the weight.
Yeah, it shocks them the most when they pick up an extinguisher, how heavy it is or isn't, you know what I mean? But it's a little deceiving when they look at it. It might not look like it weighs very much, but it weighs more than they think.
Right, because when they say 5-pounder, 10-pounder, 20-pounder, whatever, that's not for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the powder inside.
Yes.
Okay, so here we're gonna go. I'm gonna do another test on you, okay?
All right, let's go.
So, how long does a fire extinguisher, not yours, not the quality of yours, but the ones that most people probably have or don't have because they probably don't even know where it is or don't remember, whatever, how long do they last?
Like the ones you buy on Amazon and Home Depot and
Right,
things of
the
that
ones
nature.
that most people purchase.
For the most part, they'll last about 5-6 years, but anything more than that, and you can't depend on the integrity of the dry chemical inside of it
Right.
anymore. And it's more of a hazard than it is a benefit to you at that point. Because then it doesn't work, and you're in the middle of a panic, and then you panic even more, and yeah,
Right.
needless to say,
And let me tell you how fast a fire can happen, okay?
it's spread.
You know, I mean, I'll tell you something, I had something happen, I've been, like, my mind's been growing crazy lately, I don't know about any of you guys, but I've been like everywhere. And I was making something and I completely forgot that I was making it, and it was on the stove. And I came in, I was like it kind of smelled funny in the house, and I was like, what? And guess what, I went into the kitchen and there was a fire going up, you know, and luckily I knew what to do because of you, you know, I've learned. But I'm telling you right now how easily it can happen in obviously the kitchen. Fires in the garage,
Yeah.
how fast can they go up, especially with the heat that we have, people keep paint and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you keep your paint thinners, you keep your oily rags, you know, you use them, then you throw them in there. You don't have the steel cans that they recommend in commercial buildings and stuff like that, so you're just putting it wherever, you know, to dry out, like you were talking about with the mold and all that stuff. And all that stuff can catch on fire, spontaneous combustion. You know, we don't store stuff properly when we're at home. We don't practice the same safety precautions like we do when we're at work, when we're at home. You know, we're the king of our own castle, but we don't realize that a lot of that stuff just impacts a fire and helps it grow and spread faster than you really want it to.
Right, and so you need to know where they are and that it works. You need to know you have the confidence that it does work. Also, I want to mention too that when you give these fire extinguishers to people that win them, you also teach them how to use it, right? I mean, this is important for them to know, for anyone that might be just tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. We want you to know how to use them. You know, we don't want to give you something that's not going to benefit you. We want this to benefit you. We want it to benefit, you know, your neighbors, your family, and all that good stuff. So if you don't know how to use it, you're going to store it somewhere and you're going to forget about it. But we want to make sure that you're comfortable using it so that in the event that you do need it, you'll be prepared.
And this is a special one. First of all, it comes from them.
Yep.
And secondly, it is a commercial grade. And they will help you learn how to use it, know how, where it is. They're gonna help you mount it. They said that these have mounts
Yeah.
as well,
They
which
do.
is really cool. And again, we've got our lines open here, and if you, I'm gonna mention it again, anybody, you got somebody that you know that just bought a new home, what a great gift to give them. Anybody, whether you're living in a home, whether you're living in an apartment, whether you are on your, in your car, we've talked about that many times, on your boat. And again, it's the 4th of July around the corner here, and Mike said it best, it's not you that you have to worry about, it's everybody else.
Absolutely.
So call in here and get yourself entered in a win. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Mike, one of the things that we've also mentioned, and I can talk about this with you too, is that a lot of people, when you think about it, we talk about barbecues and how easily that they can go up. I happen to know somebody whose barbecue literally blew up, okay? And how scary is that? I don't know if he was right by it when it happened, but I think he got hurt. Look at Jay Leno, what happened with him, and I don't know how that happened to him, but
Yes. Yeah, you know, it's not necessarily the propane, obviously you have propane, you have fire, but it's not cleaning your grill, leaving the grease on the bottom of it, collecting over all the times that you've grilled, that's what's gonna catch on fire. When that catches on fire, it doesn't just put itself out when you turned it off, you know, it's gonna keep growing. Or when you have those turkey fryers, you know what I mean, you're frying turkeys or.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, at Thanksgiving, you're in the house and you're making fried chicken or you're frying anything and it's not in the air fryer, then, you know, there's that chance. That grease is pretty nasty and it'll catch something on fire pretty easily. And so you wanna be prepared to be able to put that thing out.
I saw that literally I think it was this last Thanksgiving, where they were, you know, showing everybody on television, you know, how to do it, how to make a fried one and everything, and they had everybody there, okay, prepared for God forbid.
Yep.
And guess what? I saw that thing go up, and the commentators were afraid, and they were very happy that they had those fire extinguishers at that time.
I bet they were.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, it's the summertime, we have the heat here, there's so many reasons to make sure that you are prepared, and that's what this is all about, is being prepared. The other thing that I want you to be able to say again, because I know Mike was able to say it, tell them what PASS, stands for.
Yeah, so it's pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep.
That's what I love.
Pull
I love
the pull
that.
pin, aim it at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle, and in a sweeping motion.
So let's say somebody has to use a fire extinguisher, and they've used it. Once they've used it, that the ones that they probably own, they have to throw it away. They can't put that pin back and save it for another time, correct?
No, that's not necessarily true.
Oh, tell me that.
If it's a commercial grade fire extinguisher,
Well,
like
like
the one
theirs.
that we're trying to, like the one that we're trying to give away right now,
Right.
We can do what's called a recharge, right? Which we hydrostatic test the cylinder, and then we refill it with dry chemical, and it's good to go.
Good to go.
Make sure the O-ring's good, twist everything back together, make sure everything's good to go, and yeah.
See, you're gonna be
Reuse
really
it.
happy that you have one of theirs.
Oh, you will be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, and not only if you use it, but imagine if you just went and bought an extinguisher and it is one that can't be recharged, refilled, and somebody, you know, drops it and
Yep.
it does accidentally go out. As soon as you release any of that agent, it's not fully charged anymore, so
Yep.
now you don't know the integrity of it, it's not gonna work. So if you drop it and it gets damaged, or if somebody's playing around and they accidentally pull it to fake somebody out, you know what I mean? It may still look like it's charged, but it really isn't charged the way it should be.
Right, you should have, they really, unfortunately, they sell them this way, obviously.
Yeah.
And most people think that they're always trying to cut corners, or, especially when it comes to pennies and their money,
Yep.
right? And so on certain things, I really think that it's important that you get the extra special one. And right here, we're entering everybody into win. This is a commercial grade fire extinguisher, whether it's for you or someone that you know. It can be for your home, it can be for your office. We didn't mention it, but obviously these are for your
Yeah.
office as well.
Mhm.
And we've mentioned it many times. A lot of people, they know they're there, they have no idea, and they don't have a plan. And that's another thing that we
Yes.
need to talk about too real quickly.
Yeah, know what you're gonna do in the event of a fire, know what steps you should take, know where your extinguisher is, know where your kids are, your family members, know your egress routes and how you can get out of your house, know to call 911, don't wait for somebody else to do it. There's a lot of things that you need to go through with you, yourself, your family, to be prepared for that event. And God knows we don't want it to happen, but statistically something will happen.
Every year.
Yes, so you gotta be prepared, it's the best thing is just be prepared, don't think it won't happen to you just because it hasn't.
We also have to talk about the electric cars. We
Yeah.
have to talk about that real quickly.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
those lithium batteries, man, they're still pretty volatile. They're great, they last a long time, they hold good charges, but they are very scary.
Yeah, you see, you guys, you have to make sure that you're prepared. And we guys love the electric cars, they're awesome.
Yep.
But again, anything can happen, and you want to make sure that you have their fire extinguisher. And so we're going to leave our lines open here for everyone to keep on calling. And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. 4th of July is literally about a week or so away.
Yep.
And again, Mike said it best, is it's not you that you have to worry about, it's everybody else. And you certainly don't want to have one that doesn't work. So call in here and get yourself entered into win. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. You can check them out on their website. It's PassFireProtection.com.